Things are still looking pretty good here. No frost yet this week. Looks like frost. Some of the hostas are dying off, but the cannas and bananas are still going strong. However, due to the abundant rainfall we've been getting, I'm not sure when I'll get another good shot. I got a dry spell for the next couple of hours, so I'm getting in here trying to get some work done. So I'm gonna chop this guy down and dig him up, I think. Just kind of get ahead of the game. Not a big deal. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'm sure you've seen many videos. All I do is I just chop everything off, rip it out of the ground. I throw it into a pot with dry soil. Done. In the garage. My garage doesn't go below freezing, so these Musa basjoo here, this clump actually has really kind of turned into a nice clump. What I'm going to do this year, which is different from what I've done other years, is I think I'm just going to leave them completely. I'm not going to cut off the leaves. We'll see. I may get sick of looking at them. So if I do, I'm going to chop the leaves and just chop the leaves up and spread them around the garden, let them decompose. And that's about all I do. I do not wrap the stems. And I will repeat that. I do not wrap the stems. I do not protect my bananas in any way. I don't care. If they get knocked back to the ground, then that's fine. Every year I have a few. It depends on the location. If they're exposed to, getting encased in freezing rain, sometimes high wind. The ones that are in more protected areas do not freeze at all, and some years, none of them freeze. So when they're about this size, these are taller than me. They generally do okay. Just kind of depends on if they get encased in ice. And the big guys, they never die back. I actually need to go in here and cut 2 of these down because they have flowered, and they are freaking tall, really tall. So I know there's 2. I can't really show you the trunks, but these things are about as thick as my thigh. So 2 of them in here got to go. So I'll be doing that because if you don't remove them, they will fall. So you can see this one flowered a little bit later. That's still kind of going through the bloom cycle. And that one there is done. So it was the two largest, kind of what I was expecting. So this guy, right here, he's got to go. Looking at the other one, that one there's okay. This one's going, and this monstrous one right here, that one's gone. So they're pretty easy to get through. I just take a handsaw and just cut them down. So this is kind of my winter prep. The weather's just been miserable the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't look any better. Thank you, La Nina. So that's about all I do. Cover my Washingtonia. That's about it. I'm not a gardener who's big into protecting. I just really don't have the time. I just don't want to bother. It's not to say I don't get stressed out in winter when things get cold, because I do. And if things look particularly nasty, I do have some frost blankets and things like that I can throw on some of the more tender things. The regular trackies, obviously, they're way too big, and they're fine here. But a couple of other more sensitive things like Livistona, maybe my little mules, because they're small, I will protect. If it gets below, when it gets into the 20s, I'm a bit of a wimp. I know most people just let them go. When I see 25, I start freaking out because that's usually about as cold as I get here. Thanks for watching. Here's my beautiful red Abyssinian all cut up. Now it's time to dig it up and throw it in that pot. So that's what you do. It will probably still continue to grow a bit. I'm gonna put it in my garage in a darker area. Like it was never there. I hate this time of year. There it is. Just dry compost, actually. Just like a soil conditioner. And once it gets a little bit warmer, I'll bring it outside and I'll see it start growing again. And once it gets 2 or 3 leaves, back in the hole. So I just filled that with compost. And that should help break down and improve the soil over the winter. See, the rest of the bananas are still looking good. Everything's looking pretty good. You can see we got a ginger flowering over there. So, not too much. You can see a little bit of color over there down on the street, but my yard pretty much looks very similar to how it does in the summer. I'd say backyard about 70%, at least 2/3. We'll say 2/3 broadleaf evergreens. My front yard is about 98%. That's why I like it. I like to, I work from home and I like to look out on my garden all year round. So even though I'm not spending as much time out here, I still do enjoy looking at my plants.